Records, George Michael, anything.
That's my boy!
Wimp.
I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia.
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light on all the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander Worf, don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for people.
What can I do? People know the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
That's why we gotta shine a light. Shine a light, shine a light. We gotta shine a light, oh yeah. Together forever. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. Be on your channel. Zero News and now. Tom Generation Next. We're gonna shine a light. Generation X.
Welcome, I'm Tom Fury, this is Zero News. Wow, we are, I've got no mic, there's no wind, and I haven't got a battery, I've charged the phone up, but this is kind of off the cuff. I wasn't going to come on because I'm spending time with her today. After I was talking to you yesterday, I realised balance is good, but she's not getting the end of the balance that she should be, so I thought I would come on, do this for as long as whatever, and then the rest of the day is hers. Strange, before we get into the politics and the rest of it, strange that actually I can't remember what I was going to say. Strange what? I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking before when this is starting up, if you ever watch podcasts like mine and you think, for fuck's sake, why do you have such a long intro? Which I know people do. And I should really mark that intro. The time's about, I think it's about a minute. Is it a minute? No, it might be close to 3 minutes. I'll have to time mark it so you can jump past it when you replay it. The reason for it, you'll notice I don't often do the same length intros for pre-recorded videos. The only reason for doing them is A, you're providing yourself with time to connect to different social media platforms and let people know you're going live. B, you're getting yourself into a position where the signal's strong and working, and even on a good signal sometimes it's like if you ever go and switch on Amazon Prime and you actually get it to show you the resolution and bitrate, it doesn't just flick on and work. You'll notice that you flick on and it's coming through quite a really shitty signal, and as over the next minute, maybe 2 minutes depending on your connection, you'll notice it go up in resolution, you'll notice it go up in signal as it starts to wind and really lock on and start churning out some serious data your way. Then and that's what happens. So that's the other reason, is to let it get going. So if you notice as well, like with this SIM card, I keep walking through dead zones as well. So I think the only thing that's keeping us on here at times is Prism. It does act as a bridge to keep the connection. Same, all the studios do. Anyway, so that's why. We've got some people. Hey there, how you doing? Do I live near Edinburgh? No, other end of the country, mate. So I live as far south as you can go. As far south as you can go. And we've had very, very warm temperatures down here up until about a week ago. It's been like 14 degrees. Daffodils have been coming out. Weird stuff's been happening. And then today, the dew point, which is the point at which moisture condenses. So normally it might be like 10 degrees or 14 degrees. So your cloud forms up there. When it hits 14 degrees up there, the moisture, it condenses. Well, it's -1, the dew point at the moment. So I think the temperature out here is 3 degrees. So that's where we got the fog, because it's above the dew point, meaning everything's turned to water. This is what the air looks like when it's 100% full of humidity. Well, I say that. The problem with working out humidity is it changes every day. So 100% humidity one day looks like that. On another day, it could look as clear as a bell. You just can't dry your washing. Yeah. So I'm imagining it must be freezing up there at the moment, just because I'm scared. I love it up north. I love the places up north, but I'm scared of those northerly winds, man. Yeah, the times that I've been up there have always been February. I don't know why, but it's always February. I'm up north. And yeah, February is the worst month of the year, and I've always ended up Manchester and places like that. And yeah, so, and I'm not great with the cold. I want to go further south, you know, but in terms of great places to go, no, I do love all those places. Did I not know what? Did I not know what? Hey Dave, good to see you. Did I not know what, mate? It's grim up north. Well, it's only the weather that puts me off. It's only the weather. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know there's some trouble spots, but fuck me, look at down here. It's one of those things, all English people saying it must really annoy people in Scotland. Oh, I've been everywhere, but I've never been to Scotland. If you know you've got this beautiful place, with me, it's very simple. You know you've got this beautiful place within inside your own kingdom, if you like. And with me, it's a weather-based decision, and the fact that in Britain you could pay to go and, I don't know what it's like up north, but where I am, you could pay to go on a camping trip, which isn't like a camping trip like in America. People around the world need to understand this. In Britain, it's very hard to actually go what you guys would call camping. I've shown Americans what is called camping over here, and they've laughed and called it a theme park. Because we've got shower blocks, in some cases, we've got arcade amusement machines, in some cases you've got people selling fish and chips and stuff. I mean, not everywhere is like that. You're in the forest, you can't have a fire. Admittedly, part of that is because of people taking the piss. The rules since COVID have not been reversed. So now, instead of going into a place where you can camp and picking your own spot, they will walk you to the spot that they decide and set you there, which is quite frustrating because you used to be able to pick your own spot. Now you can't put two tents within 6 feet of each other because of fire hazards. The area that you're going to be camping in down where I am is most likely going to be an ex-World War II runway, which both has good things about that, because my God, I just realised what an idiot. Someone has got a not very expensive drone that they've got for Christmas, and the reason I say not very expensive, it will come into play in a moment. They're flying the not very expensive drone outside, and I can hear from its motors it's fucked already. I just told you the air is 100% full of humidity. That thing is flying through that air, and I could already see it being weighed down by the water. They're going to fuck it before that's going to burn out. it's going to burn out, or it's just going to dive. It's just going to suddenly dive in a minute. And I am all here for it. I am all here for it. What a fucking stupid day to fly. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you've got an expensive drone, they'll handle it. But that is cheap shit. So, not cheap shit, it's cheap. So it's meant as a starter. So, yeah, the wherever you fly, I mean, it's great because there's no wind. Because that is a type of drone that wouldn't handle the wind very well. So it's great because there's no wind. But the amount of water that's out there, man, yeah. That's not going to last long. Like I say, more expensive ones, the expensive drones, if you've never seen them, they're crazy. They've got these like metal blades on them that will cut through wood while staying in flight. It's insane, but that's not one of them. Yeah, it's struggling. It's struggling to hold itself in the air. It's carrying too much water. Fucking hell. Oh dear, sorry, I get distracted easily. But that's what half of these walk and talks are about. And these walk and talks are coming to an end. I realise that with a dog and that, you know. So, the good thing about them is I used to dart off in different directions with subjects. People make up for it though. Yeah, I think that's, I think that's actually true. You do not want to go camping on the peat bogs we have up here. No, you're probably right. I'm a bit of a wimpy camper in as much as I've never been a luxury camper, but there is a weather thing with me because it just affects my mental state. So like, I realised that I actually spent maybe 4 days out of it, maybe 8, but I would say probably most close to 4. I spent basically 2 and a bit months outside this summer, sleeping outside. And I had not been happier for it in terms of this way, Sue, in terms of my sleep was great, and my back was great, best my back's been in ages. I loved it, and I was sleeping outside, and then and you know what, the moment I had to come in, the moment I made a decision, I always do, made a call. I was like, we've had great summer, weather's going to change, this is good, this is it, this is the big one. I put it all away, and literally the next day it started raining, and didn't pretty much stop raining for a month. It was just, autumn came, temperatures dropped. It was good timing, I do it every time. But it's a real come down as well. I don't know why. I think sleeping outside also got me up. I mean, me and her would be going 5 o'clock in the morning walks down to the beach. Love it, love it. I still enjoy getting out for some of these walks now, but I'm pushing myself a lot more at the moment. Just because I don't like cold. Although, like days like today, I don't mind so much. Like my fingers have gone freezing just holding the phone. But that's all the water and that. But there's no wind, so I don't mind days like this. I remember someone giving me a coat once, had no padding on it, nothing. I was like, what am I going to do with this? But it was completely windproof. I'll tell you what, it was one of the thinnest, wimpiest looking jackets you ever see in your life. It was one of the warmest things I ever had. All these big fluffy things you can get, they all got this, air flows straight through them. I hate that. But this tiny little it's like, yeah, I want to get another one of those. You wear that underneath a normal coat, you will walk around like this and you'll be sweating. So I wouldn't mind doing that again. I know I'm waffling about a load of old shit, right? Not getting too involved in anything. I think it's because I've created Jean, and that has hammered me, and there's a lot more work to do. And those of you who don't know who Jean is, you'll be meeting her soon, or maybe you won't be meeting her, but you'll be seeing the results of her. Let's put it that way. I'm not sure I actually want anybody to meet Jean when she's done. And I think, Dave, I think you'll understand why. But Jean will always be there. But it's not just that. It's like I said, I want to spend some time with the dog. I've been doing too many live streams, not enough videos. And I'm sorry about not getting that video together. I probably still will. But it's got to the point now where I'm like, you said you're going to get a video together before Christmas. And it's now nearly New Year. Didn't realise that. It's like, it's gone that quick. and now I'm getting irritated with myself. Like, why bother? You know. So I'll be doing a video, whether it's the same video as I originally intended. That's another issue, because I've kind of had irritated at myself. I mean, I got a whole Roger Jackson video I created. All it's missing is the end. And I got so irritated with that, the time it took me to make it, that I gave up on it. And the irony being is, now I look at it, I was like, oh, if you'd finished that, that would have actually been a really good story, because you covered everything that everybody else didn't. So, yeah, you know, I don't know. But that was a good story to cover, though, whereas what I was covering was smaller stories. So, I don't know. Like I've said to you before, rather than making stupid promises, I was trying something different. And that is, like, people had said to me, you do so many different things throughout the day, why don't you record them all together? And I tried that, recording throughout the day. But as I said, I'm I'm doing a juggling act as well, you know. So yeah, I don't know how much battery I've got. Let me just have a check. So okay, look, let me get serious for 2026, because I do want to wish you all Happy New Year. Genuinely, for tonight, for tomorrow. Stay safe. A lot of people act like dickheads on nights like tonight, because they go all year, they don't drink anymore. They drink for the first time, they try and drink like they did when they're 18, and things go terribly wrong. So, stay safe. It was making me remember, actually, today, realising it was New Year's Eve, and going, oh my God, I didn't see that coming, even though I did see it coming, whatever. It made me remember the year 2000. Anybody my age or older will remember, everybody was scared of something called the Y2K bug. Year 2000 bug. And they thought that all the clocks on the computers and the dates would not match up, because 1999 would have to become the year 2000. Even checks weren't written like that then, so everybody thought it was all going to cause this big system crash. Of course, it was a scam getting people to buy new computers, and anything that would have caused that to happen was patched up well before the time anyway. But it was an interesting time, because people were booking up weddings in the year 2000. You may not realise this if you weren't there. You may not realise just how big a deal it was to a lot of people. Not so much to me, but even to me, because you're aware it's 1,000 years, right? So there were people deliberately trying to have millennial babies, which is the irony now. The irony now of how we talk about millennials and what we think of millennials. And yet, a lot of the millennials, the actual born on the millennial year, were conceived, and this is the way it always goes with humans, were conceived where they have a hell of a lot of hope. We were moving into a new century. The mistakes of the 20th century could be left behind, and as people were having babies, it was a bit fashionable as well to have a millennial baby, getting married that year. In the end, you couldn't find a place to get married. I was going to get married just as that was the year that I picked. It happened to be that year, and because of all the bookings and everything else, I just rescheduled it for 2 years later. Or we rescheduled it for 2 years later. It just wasn't worth the hassle. So I had to delay a marriage because of the fact that it was the year 2000. That's how crazy it was. You think it's expensive going out to a pub in January? You're right. But I tell you what, that year, it was costing hundreds to get into a pub. Hundreds to get into a pub for a New Year's drink. But most important was, it was before 9/11. It was a time of genuine hope that we might leave the 20th century, communism and fascism behind. And the millennials were the hope. The next generation. The people that wouldn't have been born in a World War generation. The people that wouldn't have been born knowing the World War generation, and they'd be better for it. Because they would have all of the benefits without the scars. Not worked out that way, is it? In fact, because there's people out there that way before the year 2000, whether they be religious zealots or just people with a prophecy to fulfill, have been dead set on causing some kind of apocalypse or another, whether it be social, economic, whatever, just to fulfill their damn prophecies. And they were determined in the first part of the 21st century, there was going to be a big war, and there was going to be a big this, and there was going to be a big that. You know, they made their prophecies come true one way or another. Inside jobs, outside jobs, deep state, it doesn't matter. The prophecies were still fulfilled. And they still are being fulfilled right now. Man-made, man-delivered mutual destruction. But nevertheless, there are people out there that you don't realise are creaming for it. Not for population control, not so they can own the planet. Oh no, something far more grounded than that. So these people can be the chosen ones. They can be the ones left when you've all been sent to hell. Now these people aren't normal religious people, by the way. These are a particular sect of Christians and Catholics that are stark raving bonkers, but also many of them have positions of ultimate power. So we've taken the 20th century, probably one of the most important centuries to ever happen to human beings, held some of the biggest warnings, the biggest lessons, that history could be repeated time and time again, except with bigger, more destructive weapons, and that would lead to one place. And we learned nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. Zero. We've learned nothing from it. We've learned how to weaponize it. We've learned how to turn it on its head. We've learned how to sell out everything that they fought for. We've learned to deny that it ever happened. We've learned to hate on the people that gave their lives for us. We've learned to piss on poppies, politicise poppy. I mean, I don't need to go on. And this is within inside 100 years. You can see how history gets twisted, can't you? And we're going through a stage now which is terminal. Unless there is a way out of it that no other civilization has managed to see or take, because in some civilizations' case, like the Roman Empire, there was chances for them to survive that they didn't take via arrogance. However, they were still in a bad way. We are in that same situation right now. Masochistic, multicultural, denying truth, sex, gender. See, the problem is, a long time ago, not that long, people spiritual people, religious people, even people doing AA meetings, used to try and talk to people about their truth, your truth. Your truth might differ from the world's truth because of your experiences. It's a very useful tool to be able to say, well, my truth is I felt like this, regardless of how you all felt about me, I felt like this and I was hurting. It's a great tool to be able to speak your truth, the way you see things, the way you felt about things, yeah? And it was a very useful tool for people that were trying to invalidate your feelings, or for you invalidating your own feelings. It made it so that all feelings were valid. That's not the same as fact. What's been happening is the left took over spiritualism, they got into the church and these other places, and now your truth is now equal to a universal truth, to facts. Now, that's not what the your truth thing was created for. It wasn't to go up against universal proved facts by scientists. And I realise that we've got less reason to trust scientists because they're paid off politically, you know, like in terms of vaccine companies. I realise that the trust level is as low as it is for good reason. However, when we throw away all our belief in the weather, when we throw away all our belief in medicine, all our belief in gravity, all our belief in every single thing that we know, it doesn't make us smarter. In fact, it makes us even more fucking stupid. Because then what we start doing is we start using our truth. And our truth usually is one of two things. your imagination let wild, and then you go, that's a fact, without any need to prove it. Or it's bro science, where two guys have just sat there on a podcast and worked something out between them that there's no proof, evidence, source material, or anything else to. We've worked it out. Bro science. That's what you're seeing a lot of the time. I see it all the time. And this is why I said to you 2 years ago now that we were entering a post-truth age. And I said to you, it wasn't necessarily the people's fault. The people have been shit on so many times they didn't know who to trust. But it's also, politicians and activists and people like me, podcasters. They're all jumping on this fear. They all see it, and they're all jumping on it, and they're all using it. They're using the post-truth era. So it's so strange that when I started this, it reminds me like how the 60s turned to the 70s and everything changed. It's like we've gone from admiring the truth teller for just being gritty, raw, and saying what's going on, regardless of whether that's drama or no drama, to narrative-driven. The personality and the popularity determines the level of truth we give. And yeah, just that. I don't know. Just that the truth teller is not frowned upon. He's just not seen, and he's just not required. In fact, if anything, I will say that, in fairness to audiences, there's on the side of the creators, there has been more of a push towards the drama because it brings more people in than there has been towards citizen journalism. And I will say that. And I don't say that as a divisive person. I think it's plainly obvious to every fucking body. You can see the auditors are provocateurs in a lot of cases. And in some cases, like when the people were wearing the fake hijabs and that, I got it. I'm in support of that, because all they're doing is highlighting how stupid that law is and how it enables anybody to misuse it. But some of the other things that they do, when you're busting through windows of a place and everything else like commandos, there's no legal precedent for them to do that. Someone could get really fucked up. Imagine, regardless rights and wrongs, anything else, someone comes through your window, what are you going to do? If you don't know who they are, what they want, you might bash them to death. There's people coming through armed with a camera. Do you know what I mean? The trouble is going to happen sooner or later. And then when one of them gets killed, we'll be hunting the migrants down. Like, we do not need to create our own problems. The migrants are creating enough of their own. It's like Vin always says, when your enemies make a mistake, don't interrupt. And this is what we've got to learn. But as a movement, like, they're making the mistakes. They're doing everything for us. They're stabbing, they're killing, they're attacking people. You've only got to look at the internet. Something I'm going to show you soon is how, even on YouTube, how violence is absolutely everywhere, up and down this country. We don't need their help. So, I don't know. So, I made a prediction in 2024 that 2025 would be the year of blood. As I said, not the savviest prediction in the world, because it didn't need to be. It was obvious. It was obvious to me anyway. This year, prediction for 2026, it's a little bit more difficult. Partly because I've put myself in the position of Mystic Meg now, and when you start preconceiving, you don't get it right. You can't do that. It's got to come naturally. And trying to force it out, it will come wrong. But I'll probably say something in the next couple of weeks. But if I was trying to force out an answer now, I say something's been niggling away in the back of my mind for the last few weeks. And it hasn't come to fruition yet, which is why I don't feel comfortable really saying it today. But I'm going to anyway. And that is that I feel like in the first 3 months of 2026, there's a massively high possibility that rather than just a stabbing, just a stabbing now, that's how I'm calling it now, just a stabbing, I feel there's a high probability of a high stakes attack. I'm not saying necessarily Britain, I don't know. I feel like a statement could be made tonight, or in the next 3 months. Because originally my thought was 2026 is going to be tick over year. By tick over, I don't mean everything ticks along fine. I mean violence the way we've been seeing it for another year. But things are tipping, points are tipping, and statements need to be made, and war needs to be waged. So it will also, I suppose, depend a lot on whether Starmer can get us all killed first. Because if Starmer gets us all killed first, or at least embroiled in the war we can't win, then it won't be a problem, because the men of this country, regardless of where they're from, will be dead anyway. You don't think they won't? Oh, I won't fight. You fucking will when you're held at gunpoint. Don't think they're not capable. Anybody desperate enough is capable of pulling a gun out on you. Government, no government, Western world, civilized world. All that civilization rests upon everything that we've built, which is why we're trying to defend it. This is what drives me crazy about people. Why are we trying to defend all of this? Because it's a structure, a house of cards you might even say, but it's still a structure that civility is built on, and it is very shaky. We know that. That's why we're trying to protect it. Things like free speech and all that, we know are a fucking miracle. That's why we're trying to protect them. Things like a country where there isn't that much violence, or wasn't, is a miracle. Not particularly much racism, a miracle. We had that. We had that. And people just couldn't fucking leave it alone, could they? And so the fascists came out wearing anti-fascist t-shirts. And that's the game. Hope, not hate. All these other people claim to be charities and whatever else. All of them violent. All of them fascist. All of them wearing these Never Again t-shirts, which I'd like to rip off of these people and hang them by, because of the disrespect that it shows to the real message. I'll get a knock on the door for that one. Fuck yeah. It's true. It's true. These people are... Yeah, so I think 2026, again, at the moment, my early feeling is, again, there's a little alarm bell going off in the back of me, and I'm not sure exactly what it's trying to tell me yet, but I think its probabilities are someone's going to make a statement. First 3 months. Maybe even tonight, or the next few days. But, I don't know. I hope I'm... By the way, it is an initial feel, and normally I get a strong feel for these things, and I'm not. It's still very messy at the moment, because of the fact that the Russian stuff's come in. That's complicated things considerably. So it's hard to get a decent idea of the probabilities now. Things are getting very confused. But that's just that little tickle in my tummy I got at the moment. And just like, first 3 months, we really need to watch out. And I don't know exactly what for, but something ground shaking, something that will bang your head against the inside of your skull. You know, just like, what the... I don't know. Something like that. Whether it be a change of law, whether it be war... Something that you just didn't see coming that quick, and we're just like, what the you know? Maybe coming directly from Starmer himself. He keeps pulling one thing out of the out of the hat after another. Wouldn't surprise me if it came from Starmer himself. But I don't know. I don't know. I just know we should be on full tactical alert. There were some victories on the right in 2025 that need to be wiped out, and they will be if the left can get their opportunity to do it. Let's not forget, 2025 was the year of people losing their lives for needless reasons, for ideological reasons. Let's not forget the fact that the world is turning anti-Semitic again, and there seems to be nothing that we can do about it. Let's remember that Charlie Kirk got shot for speaking, and people supported him. That's the year of blood. that we've walked into. A person could stab a bunch of people, and then you find out that he was also suspect of stabbing or waving a knife around another bunch of people, was never arrested, never followed. The guy that we've just shipped over, blatant terrorist sympathies. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. They're rubbing it straight in your face. And this is the thing that should alarm you the most, and why I say you should keep your eyes open, or you won't need to keep your eyes open, it will happen to you over the next few months, because they're rubbing it straight in your face. They don't care what you think anymore. They don't give a shit. They're laughing at us. Or more to the point, I would say laughing at us. I'd say in Keir Starmer's case, sneering at us. And if you don't think Starmer wouldn't be thinking to himself, I wonder how many white people I could get killed in a war. If you don't think that he's capable of that, you sweet summer child, you. But, and everybody knows me, I'm not a pro-white, I don't talk like that. But I do recognise when there's a racist agenda against white people, same as I would notice when it's against the Jews and stuff. And there's a racist agenda against white people, and Starmer's part of it. And the idea that he could send lots of us to war and get us killed would accelerate his plans if he could do that correctly. And let's face it, he's made different rules for prison and for sentencing. If you are a minority, or if you're trans, you get lighter sentences by default. But it seems to be by default the fact that white people are more evil. It seems to be his conclusion. So with that kind of logic on the table and in law, why would you assume that in a case of war, which is even more drastic, he wouldn't come up with another reason why white people would be the best people, only people, to send into war? I'm not saying that will happen. I'm saying if you think it's beyond him, you underestimate this guy. He's not physically imposing. He's not a smart man. He's not a world leader. That's what makes him so dangerous. Is that he's none of those things, and he wishes he was all of them. That makes him the most dangerous man around, because he's got his hands on power. And he's never even done his driving test. Do you know what I mean? Those are the most dangerous people. Anyway, I'm sorry, I've been going on and on and on. Hey, Miller Burgess, I'm sorry if I missed you, mate. Big delay. Sorry about that. There's nothing I could do about it at the moment. They are... See if there's an alternative to prison, I suppose. Yeah, the pop songs, things like The Truman Show. I mean, we have been inundated over the last, 25 years? Fucking reality television. Just non-stop. Non-stop. I hate it. It's one of the things that stopped me by getting a TV license anymore. Do you know, recently, TV license people tried to screw with me. I was going to show you this in a report. I may still do, but they tried to screw to me, and I'm pretty sure they tried to lie to me. So, if you're interested, because you may want to hear this, just so that you don't fall for their scare tactics, because some people are much more afraid of these people than they need to be. Yeah, these people hold a very tenuous grip on you at best, and in court, most of it doesn't hold up. And most of it doesn't get to court as a result, because it ends up as an expensive mess for them to lose. Just gotta, so they send me letters every year asking me if I need a TV license, and I've started to put on them, stop fucking bothering me. Like, it hasn't changed for however many years it's been. Why is it going to change now? I hate you, I hate Sky, I hate all of you. I'm never going to give you my money. If there's anything you produce that I want, I'll buy it on DVD. Fuck you. And that's been my position for you. And by the way, don't think that's a fake position. You may think, yeah, he's saying that so he doesn't have to pay a TV license. I probably would do that, I'm not going to lie, but no, I don't pay a TV license because I refuse to have their shit coming through my television screen. So no, I literally, if I want to see something, I'll buy it or download it. But what I certainly won't do is yeah, sit through adverts and mind-numbing shit that they have on these channels. And I told them this a long time ago. I can't sit through your mind-numbing shit. And that was back in the days when I used to be a pirate as well. So I was fighting for online entertainment, not to keep making us sit at 7 o'clock on a Friday night watching something. I thought that was archaic. So anyway, sorry, straight to it. So I got a letter just before Christmas, and that's another deliberate thing, just before Christmas, and it's to frighten you. All people do it. Government will give you medicals before Christmas. It's all frightened tactics. They sent me a letter saying, oh, you said you didn't need a TV license, and yet you were caught recently logging into BBC iPlayer. Now, instantly I can tell you there's something wrong with that first sentence you just heard. If you steal a film, you download something, they will say, on the so-and-so of October at exactly 3:13 p.m, you were detected downloading so-and-so, right? They know the exact day, the exact time, and they are not shy of telling you because it frightens people. No date, no time. And they said that I accessed the BBC iPlayer website. Well, I don't have a BBC iPlayer account. Why would I? So I thought, how could they come to this conclusion unless they're lying? So there's two possibilities. They are lying, and they're just trying it on, which I wouldn't be surprised at. Or two, they're going right back to possibly September or October, to when I was fixing a computer for, well, multiple computers, and whilst I didn't see any of them log into iPlayer, it's a possibility. And the reason I've nailed it down to that is because nobody's got access to my Wi-Fi. I know I haven't accessed it, and nobody's been in my house and accessed it. So the only chance that it possibly could have logged on to iPlayer is through someone else's computer that I was fixing, and that is a long shot. But I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt. So and that would have been, if I was fixing someone's computer, that would have been an accidental login, no pages surfed, no videos watched, and computer turned off again. So again, it would have shown no evidence of watching BBC iPlayer. And so I'd sat with this letter for a week thinking, what should I do about this? And I realised, I was like, they haven't given me the day and time for a start. And I was like, right, I'll just tell them. I don't know how it got logged into, possibly got logged into when I was fixing the computer. That's hardly evidence of using BBC iPlayer watching TV. Go fuck yourselves. And if they pushed it any further, I was going to say, right, let's get my ISP involved, shall we? And let's get the court involved. You take me to court, and my ISP can tell you how many times I've logged into BBC iPlayer, ITV, or anybody else over the last 5 years. And I realised I had all the power on my side. So I rung them up. Guess what? It's all a big scam. I got asked by a computer system to verify that I didn't need a license. Just the same as you normally do when you normally phone up and tell them, or you normally log on and tell them you don't need a license. It wouldn't even let me speak to someone. I tried, it wouldn't even let me speak to someone. It's just a way of getting me to come out of the woodwork and say I don't want a license, rather than saying fuck you. That's it. So I've always told people, if you get a letter, if you download films and you get a letter saying you were caught downloading so-and-so, I've told you two things you need to do from that point. One, get a VPN, and two, put the letter in the bin. Because you'll get at least 3 letters before anybody even consider taking it to court, and even then, it's usually the ISP that's liable. So if you get a letter saying, oh, you've downloaded so-and-so, the best legal advice I think anybody I've ever seen give is just put it in the bin, because it means nothing. They're obliged to send these letters out. Just don't get caught 3 times in a row. This is from Torrent Freak site, so I'm talking completely hypothetically, by the way. I'm not suggesting anybody do this. There are people who are already doing this, and those are the people I'm talking about. I'm not suggesting you follow any... Well, I'm not giving any instructions, so... Yeah, don't forget, I'm just playing a character. Anyway. So yeah, so they're on a scam to frighten people and get money. What was supposed to happen was... I was supposed to go, did I? Oh, sure, I'll just pay it. Well, when I don't need a license, genuinely, I'm not going to pay for something I don't need. And 2, I haven't got money to throw away. So, no, the answer is always going to be go fuck yourself. But this is what they do. The same as the BBC and the scam artists that scam old people out their money use very similar tactics. Contacting you around Christmas, telling you need to do this right now, you need to do it right now. Because what do old people struggle with? Old people struggle with time. If you start putting pressure on them, that's when they can't get their thoughts in order. If you give them time to think about it, they'll go, hang on a minute, you're ripping me off. So what these people do when they're trying to scam older people is they try and pressure them. You need to do this now. You need to transfer this money to me now so we can stop it being stolen from you. And old people sometimes will panic, give them details. They realise later on, what was I being so stupid? You weren't being stupid, you were being pressured. And the BBC are trying to do this very, very same thing just for Christmas. And it said, you need to respond to this now. We'll get, and it said we'll get it doesn't say we'll get an inspector to come around, we'll get enforcement involved. But it doesn't say law enforcement, just enforcement. It's like, yeah, you try that. See how well that works. I'm sorry, I'm not one of these people that respects the idea of any bailiffs or anything coming on my property. I'll break their legs. I'm sorry. I know everybody says, oh, you can't do that. Really? Those people aren't policemen. They don't have the power that they claim to have. No. I'm not that I've ever been in that position, because I pay my bills, but if someone came in my door to take my property, they'd have a problem. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Don't get me wrong. There's another side of me that if I fuck up and it's my fault, I'll hold my hands up and I'll do what I need to do to make it right. So I don't mean, oh, if I fucked up, I wouldn't take any responsibility. But you're not going to walk into my house and tell me what you're taking. I'm going to pay you what I owe you, because that's what I do. You don't you don't come into my house, and I'm sure many of you would be the same. You don't come into my house and tell me how the way things are going to be. Even if I have the police in my house, it's very rare. But when they've knocked and come in before, it's like, yes, you have the power dynamic of being an authority, but you're in my house, and don't forget it. And in fairness, they don't. Only one cop has ever done that to me, and I said to him, oh, you fucking remember where you are. I said, because my politeness has let you in, and my politeness can kick you the fuck out. And he didn't say anything. He was like, fair enough. So I will say I've not had too much of a problem there. I try not to, I'll be honest with you, I try not to let them in too much, but there was a couple of occasions where I had no real choice. So I didn't have a real choice, but I made it out to them like I did. Do you know what I mean? I knew I didn't really. Anyway, so yeah, I am worried about 2026. Not in the same way I was with 2025, because 2025's happened now exactly in the way that I was scared of. And what I'm worried about more than anything is, yeah, I really should cut this video down because it's probably only about 15 minutes worth of using. But I am worried about the desensitization now. When I saw Helen and other people's reaction to Bondi Beach, as sick as this may sound, please take this as meant, I actually felt somewhat good. Good that they were mourning, good that they were shocked, good that they were almost closing the country down, because that's what we all used to do, and it's stopped. Especially here in Europe now, we're just getting on with life, and people are getting exterminated by this, and tragedies are happening, and Europe now is just getting on with it, and people are desensitized, and at least like with Australia, people were genuinely shocked, and it reminded me what we were like and how far they've desensitized us, pulled us away from the really compassionate people we were. And don't get me wrong, compassion and empathy has killed us. Compassion and empathy is what's gotten in this trouble in the first place, but compassion and empathy fused with logic and reason work. It's when it has no logic and reason it doesn't work. And I don't know, we're in a bad spot. I think do you know what? You know things are bad when -1 dew point and it's just turned straight to water. I can see blue through the sky, but it doesn't matter. The water is coming out the sky anyway because the humidity is that high. It's just turned into water. So it's raining. It's raining out of a tiny bit of fog. I can see blue up there. I don't know if you'll see it on camera. See the blue? And it's not a cloud over here that's raining on me and the blue's there. It's like it all over. It's condensated water. It's probably coming off the trees actually. Wow. Strange. Yeah, so, you know, I worry that we're being desensitized, even though we're trying not to let it happen. It's happening all the time, you know. Last Christmas, remember we had the Christmas Day killer last year, and that's how it all started off. And Sue, come on, baby. Nice and quiet today. Do you know what? Remember Christmas Day? It was like mega busy in that, wasn't it? Look, I'm still in the middle of the road. Reminds me of COVID. I used to be able to stand in the middle of the road and do a podcast like this. Oh shit, I couldn't do it now though because it's not COVID. I used to be standing in the middle of the road and do a podcast. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Oh, good to see some new names on here. I'm sorry I'm not seeing you so well. I didn't expect us to be on this long. I haven't brought a battery in that with me today, and I didn't expect many people to come on. We've got a lot of people over Christmas, but my channel's only really still getting going because I've had to restart it from an old channel because, well, YouTube had their wicked way with it and demonetized it and made it, what's the word, shadow banned. So we're starting again. Hi to everybody on Getter, by the way. Every time I switch on, more followers. I don't know how long this is going to carry on for. All I can do is say thank you. Please keep it coming. Please keep us growing. Again, I've told you before, you are my window to the US, and the wider that window gets, the more we can fit through it. And the more maybe I can get myself over to the US, what I've always been trying to do since I joined this movement. Sue, hey, come on. You know better. Hey, you know better. Come here. Come on. You know better. Right, now wait. You know better than to walk off like that. Now wait there. Danger, yeah? Danger. Big danger. Danger, yeah? Danger. Wait. Go. Good girl, I'll get you back. Good girl, well done, girl. Sorry about that, guys. That was out of nowhere. All the traffic from the last 10 years seemed to have appeared. Sorry about that. I'm amazed the battery's still going on here. So, snap my glasses across my face. This isn't exactly the short, flowing live stream I imagined, where I just came on for 10 minutes, said Happy New Year and left. Nor is it the detailed political podcast I'd like to have made, where I cover some really deep issues. It's me talking about whatever I want to talk about. But you know what? That has been a defining feature of this Christmas. I've worked really hard behind the scenes, creating Gene and other things. But I have also been very relaxed and just in the moment. And I do apologise for anybody that's bored or annoyed. But I also know that some people do appreciate it at times. And just a little bit of a break, because we're going to be back on politics all year, non-stop. and it's going to be a difficult time, especially if I'm right about, well, it doesn't matter whether I'm right. We all know that 2026 is not going to be an easy year, right? We can at least say that. Why would it be? How can it be? Yeah, well, what we know, how can it be? So, it can't. It just simply can't. So we know what's coming, in some respects. Sorry about the camera. Got to get this off properly. Sorry, what was I trying to say? So we know what's coming in some respects, we just don't know how bad, how much, blah blah blah. So, do you know what? I can't fucking concentrate while I'm doing it. 1 second. Right. Do you know what? I've got most of the things I need set up to make this podcast more fluid, but the coming in and out of here needs to be sorted, because it is a real nightmare. Because all I'm thinking about is the camera's now facing up, now it's facing the wall, now there's nothing I can do about it, so that needs to be sorted. I need something where I can come in and go plonk with the camera. That's a good idea, actually. Fixed it. Okay, I know what to do. I know what to do. I know what to do. On there. A permanent mount on there. See, I've got to like treat my house as a studio, because I never know where I'm going to record. But yeah, I've got an idea now. That's where I normally sit to talk to you guys, so it would make sense to have a place right there, actually. Let's try it now. So, 1 second. I'll just have a little read of what you've written, just to show a little bit of respect, and then I shall get off of here. Let me see if I can get this off without ending the stream. That was close. Yeah. I apologise. I'll get back.
Sounds like you're dealing with some total incompetence, Captain. In a world of Roman...
Jesus Christ, where does she come from? Oh, it's on its side. Oh, did I have it that way up, did I? Oh, I can't put it on there at the moment. Cock. Alright, well, for the future it'll work anyway. I can't believe I just did that. What a knob. I got to dry. I can't be long because I've got to dry my dog in a minute. She's absolutely soaked. And hang on a second. For fuck's sake. I can't do this anymore. Sue, come here. Stop making noise. You've just been for a massive walk. Alright? My time. My time. Yeah? We did about 2 miles, yeah? It's my time. Sorry. Alright, let me try and catch up. Yeah, but for millennial, yeah. Sorry, I'm catching up some old comments, yeah. To people, if anybody ever comes on and wants to be a mod, then the answer is no. Until I've got to know you, and then probably yeah. Still under an hour. Is it? Oh, that's... Oh, good, good. Oh, that's not too bad. I didn't want it to go, like, 3 hours like normal. And I don't mind those 3 hour ones when we're flowing, political, and when we've got enough of us on to be having a wide conversation. But when there's 3 of us on and I'm just waffling, then it's not so cool. But, yeah. But then again, my fault. I haven't really... What's the word? I haven't been in studio inviting people in either, so... But, and also I've been slipping away from the political stuff. But you know what? It's been nice to have a little break and do some other stuff. And like I say, creating Gene, I know it won't mean much to many of you. Like, I fought against so many things trying to do my podcast. Even when it was at its most successful, I never enjoyed doing it. It was always eating at me that I could do more. The way I do things is messed up, which means I need something as messed up as me to work with. Gene can fulfill that role. Gene can fulfill me working on 4 projects at once whilst not focusing on one. Gene can deal with me being OCD and starting a project at 4 in the morning. And then just as I'm about to reach the most important part of the project, switch projects completely and go to something else completely and start recording a live. Gene can roll with those punches because I can make this. Well, I don't want to talk about it too much, but Gene can work with a fucked up human being like me, and actually, if I do it right, we can bring the best out of each other, or I can use her to get the best out of me, to be precise, because she's just a screwdriver. And wow. I said to you yesterday, I don't even want to talk about potentials. This is real, actual, real world stuff that I'm already seeing. So, I'm hoping this is the breakthrough I've been needing for a long time. Because if it is, it's not about AI at all. It's about being able to do the best podcast I can do. And so that if we get up to 20,000 again, that instead of having the problems that we got, I get up to 30,000, 40,000 and 50,000 and that we make the decent quality podcasts, and that the Getter window keeps opening wider, and I keep giving them better videos. Because Getter, you've put up with my videos good and bad, and I do appreciate it, but you guys deserve better as well. Like, I have given you some good videos, I'm not denying that, but there's also been some shit ones mixed in there, you know? So, just know that I am working very hard to make sure that I can bring you the best that I can. It's taken a lot out of me, and it's why I'm not doing certain other videos at the moment, because I am tired all of the time. But it's a tiredness I'm enjoying, because I know what the reward is. And again, the reward is not a scientific experiment that may or may not happen depending on my luck. Or no, this is, if I put the work in, I will get the result out. So, and that result could be something that even when I'm feeling lazy or feeling like I will help me anyway. Could be days where I'm sat here and I'm a bit, what's the word, a bit not atrophied, but you can't get yourself moving. Gene can help with that, you know. So there's a lot of things where I'm thinking more than moving. That's a bit like programming. When you're programming, you're doing more thinking than you are typing. I think they broke it down. I don't know if it's still the same now, but when I was a programmer, they broke the average time a programmer spent programming, typing, and the time they spend debugging. And it worked out that if you averaged it out over the course of a day, the average programmer did 8 lines of code a day. Think about all those thousands and thousands and thousands of lines of code. The average programmer wrote about 8 lines of code a day if you averaged it out, because the rest of the time was spent debugging it. And it's very much similar with me, the way I do my podcast. So much thinking time involved, so much open mode time involved. I'm exhausted by closed mode time. If I've got somebody or something with a half sensible head that can do closed mode for me, because I can't close open mode, then suddenly I've got a conveyor belt for creativity that I just keep doing. And the thing that can close mode it and make it serviceable for you. So to be in a creative flow state like that is kind of cool, because it means I can do humor, I can do politics, I can do what the fuck I want, and I don't need to just think about this movement. I can think about bigger things. I can think about the internet. Maybe I'm having a channel that serves the internet, and I don't think it's bad to dream that, because I've already had a channel that was 20,000 in a little movement like ours. So obviously I had something I could do right. So strategy is win. Strategy is win. So I said if I was going to come back and do this, I wasn't going to be half-hearted. I wasn't going to be half in. I wasn't going to put one foot in. But they were all words, and I knew it. So I've been silently working to make things better. I've been laughed at. I've been had the piss taken out of me. Just like I did the first time I started my podcast. First podcast I did, everyone laughed at me. Oh, he's doing a podcast. He's 41 years old. Same people when I got to 20,000 were asking for a job. Same people. So that's why I said the people that have stepped up to be mods for me now, and the people that stick by me now, they're the people that if we do get back up to those 20,000s or more, I'll appreciate everybody, but it will be the people that were here when we were just a few hundred that I will remember. It'll be those people that will be the core of and they were the last time we did Zero News. They were the core of Zero News. The people that, because they were the people who put faith in you when there was no reason to, except they gave you a bit of trust and let you run with it, and that was amazing. And that's what people did for me on YouTube. I'm not going to lie, like I was helped by people's goodwill. They were just, when I first started my first channel, I just started doing my thing, and people saw potential, not necessarily actual, and they would join in for goodwill, just like, let's see how this turns out. It was amazing. You know, I thought I was going to come on YouTube and find everybody horrible, because, you know, even I've been a twat on YouTube. I mean, I just thought I thought it was like, say, Reddit. But actually, when I was on YouTube, the whole time I've been on YouTube, yeah, I've had trolls, I've had all that. But I'd say probably 95% of the people that have come through my channel have been really gracious, nice people. And so when someone is a particular arsehole or whatever else, it doesn't ruin my perception of the internet, because I see how many people have treated me well on a YouTube channel, whether it's had 1,000 people on, when it had 10,000 people on, when it had 20,000 people on. People treated me okay. The only difference being is that when the channel got bigger, some people started to treat me in a way that I didn't deserve. They started to treat me like I was somebody special. And that is something that I had to beat out of them a little bit. But yeah, and the thing of it is, you've got to be aware of that, because a lot of these influencers and whatever you want to call them, as their channels get bigger, they become detached from you. They think the chat isn't important, and they, if you let them widen that gap, they will. And if you put them on a pedestal, they'll quite happily take that seat and look down on you. So bear that in mind. If you want them to stay humble, keep them humble. The moment you see me winking down the camera, giving you a cocky look like I think I'm famous, you fucking call me on it. You know, that's how you humble these people, and they'll always stay humble as long as you do that part. You know, and say, all right, fucking keep your ego in check. And honestly, it will humble them worse than any insult, because you've seen the true nature of what they're doing, and nobody likes to be caught out. Yes, so a change is good as a rest. That's what I was going to say. It's like Starmer. You tell how things bad are, because I'm actually thinking Reform Party, which I'm not even a backer of, would be better than Starmer right now. Anything would be. Almost anything would be. You know what? Corbyn would have been better than Starmer. And that's fucking saying something. But, so I'd accept almost anything else at the moment. Yeah, there's things I'd like to say on here, but I will get a knock at the door if I do. But I do hope Mr. Starmer doesn't choke on his New Year's dinner or whatever he's going to have. I do hope that he has a nice dinner and doesn't choke at any time. I wish I could say what I wanted to say. What have you done? Oh. I'll tell you what. In all the years I've been doing this, I've hated politicians, but I've never actually talked about them in this way. Do you know that? But he is Creedence Clearwater Revival. I've gone over the hour, and Hey Steve, no notifications again. What is this fucking notifications things? I can humble anyone. I believe you, Steve. I believe you can. Well, do you know what? The reason I say it with Jeremy Corbyn is this is why I say it. If Jeremy Corbyn, I don't think Jeremy Corbyn had the guts that Starmer's got in, not guts, the stupidity that Starmer's got in certain ways. And what I mean by that is, Jeremy Corbyn showed a couple of times a fear of his voting base. I don't think Jeremy Corbyn would have wanted to destroy the Labour Party. And I'm taking guesses here. I appreciate that. I'm hypothesising. I don't think he would have taken the chance of destroying the Labour Party. I think that Jeremy Corbyn would have taken the path that others have on the left before, and that is that he would have buttered us up first by increasing the old weather payment, the weather payments, by pretending to inject goodness into the economy. I think he would have gone that way first because normally the health service and everything else is how these people justify all the terrible, evil things that they do. And that's why I was surprised at Starmer. Normally they go, oh, yeah, we're doing this for the health service and everything else, so that they can say, you know, all communist countries do. Oh, health service is great. Yeah, but you get shot for crossing the street. Yeah, but at least you got a good hospital to go to, you know? So they often do. So I think that under Corbyn, you'd get some terrible misspending, probably tank the economy straight away. But I think he would have put it into things like healthcare and that to make himself look good, to babyface himself to the people, and to not destroy the Labour Party. I think that he actually, in his own way, cared about the Labour Party, even though they're poison and he's poison. I think that his poison still stuck to some old school principles of politics. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, and I may have totally misread the guy. But I feel like, yeah, under certain pressures, he'd cave. But easy to say when he didn't have his hands on power. So I'm hypothesizing. Maybe it's just Stockholm syndrome. Maybe or worse. Maybe it's just Keir Starmer is that bad. I'm just seeing the good in everybody, because, as I said on the stream earlier on, Steve, and I can't be on too long, mate. This was meant to be under an hour, and I've gone way over. But as I said on the stream earlier on, Keir Starmer to me is more dangerous than your Stalins and your other people, because he is not a man smart enough for power, capable enough for power, certainly not a world leader, certainly not even a leader of the Boy Scouts, and yet he's got real world or real country power. And he's got the ability to get us all killed. He's got the ability to do some crazy things. And it's always the people who aren't qualified for power, who don't have that ability. Look at the Roman emperors. The people that just aren't tactical, aren't all these things that are required to be a leader. He has none of them. And that's what makes him the most dangerous person at all. As I said earlier on, it's like he hasn't even passed his driving test, and he's in a Formula 1 race car, you know. And the thing is, it wouldn't matter if he passed his driving test. He's never going to be a Formula 1 race driver. Same as he's never going to be a good politician. So, you know, he's never going to make a good leader of a country. He's proven that now. He's doubled down so many times. I've lost count of how many he's got to. But again, I'm just hypothesizing, by the way, Steve. Assuming you can cross the street. Yeah, absolutely. Fucking right. But he'd find out about the 6 weeks I spent in Northern Ireland, as well as being a friend of the IDF. True. But I you know what? Do you not think it's... I want to be careful what I say, because people will take the wrong thing from it, and then think that I'm accusing. Do you know what? This is what I mean about this movement. You can't say anything about bollocks. Do you not think it's weird that underneath this government, most oppressive, tyrannical government we've had for a long time, Tommy Robinson has got away from them more times than he did under the Conservatives. The Conservatives had him nailed. They were sending down judgments to judges. He didn't have a chance. And the Labour government, the government that's been looking to nail him for, well, you'd think, the ones that want to take him out, he's never done so well. He's been allowed out of the country whilst on trial. He's been awaiting sentencing, should I say, he's been handled very lightly. And again, I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm saying, isn't it weird? It's not gone unnoticed, but it did go unnoticed at first. But it was only the other day I was thinking about all the things that happened to him since I've known him, and then I thought, fuck me, well, it seems like a lot's happened to him under Labour, but actually, a lot's potentially going to happen to him under Labour, but it hasn't happened. Like, they've said the right things, but actually, Tommy's actually had a string of wins for the first time under a Labour government. Isn't that strikingly weird? And again, I'm not saying it, I don't know what that means, if anything. Maybe it's just luck. But it caught my attention. It caught my attention a lot. And I haven't an explanation for it at the moment. It's maybe just coincidence. Maybe there's just stuff in the court that I'll never understand. Maybe there's legalities with these cases that were completely different. I don't fully understand. But again, I'm not trying to say I've got high intelligence for court cases. I just pick up on patterns. I'm a pattern-seeking monkey. So I pick up on patterns. And yeah, that pattern stuck out to me. So if ever I say something like that, it's not come from a devious, evil mindset. It's come from pattern seeking, you know? Steve, that's great. Do I think being watched from over the pond has made a difference? Sorry, in what context? On what we're talking about? We're talking about my channel? We're talking about what we're talking about? Because obviously the chat's slow, so I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. Min! Hey, good day, Min. Happy 2026. Happy 2026 to you. Hope it's a much better year for you. And I hope you have a great time, Min. It's great to see you. And Helen, I know you've been out there. Wish you the same thing as well. To the Aussie girls. Still hope the day I'll come and give you a slap. But in the meantime, I wish you both all the love in the world. Appreciate the fact that you've always been here. And yeah, have a happy new year, both of you. Oh, regarding TR, do I think it's made a difference being watched from over the pond? What, in the way he's been treated? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Or you also think, or you also, I sounded like the Southerners live around here then. Oh, you also look mush. I also, yes, partly that, but I also think as well, think about what Tommy was allowed to go away and do while he was waiting sentencing and go to Israel. And I think that is because Israel and Saudi Arabia have both been buying people, buying support over the last few years. Saudi Arabia especially, with the boxing and everything else. But I wouldn't be surprised if Israel handed over some money to our government for that or something, because Israel are on their own. Israel are a Middle Eastern country that have got their own agenda, and their agenda is not the same as us. I mean, when I saw Tommy go over there, a lot of things I saw was they were giving him shit about what the British had done, which I thought was unfair. And a lot of stuff, you know, it was very clear what they thought of the British. And that's how I took it. They are a power and they see themselves as that. Fine. Fight your own fucking wars then, and let us fight ours. Because we've got a lot of problems in our own country. Fucking sort your own wars out. Leave us out of it. That's how I felt watching that. You're the big I ams. You fucking get on with it. There's a difference between me. There's a difference between anti-Semitism, which is hatred of Jews. I have none of that. The Jews have been through enough. Leave them the fuck alone. But Israeli government, why would I trust the Israeli government? It's a Middle Eastern government, just the same as the fucking rest of them. It's a Middle Eastern country with its own agenda. And it's not Britain. Why the fuck would I trust it? It's just another corrupt government in a world full of corrupt governments. Why should I trust Israel's government? Just because it's Jewish people and we protect Jewish people because of what's happened to them, that doesn't mean I'm going to protect their government. I think Israel are a bunch of fucking slime bags. The government, just the same as our own government. You tell me a good government in this world. You point to a good government, a fully good government. You can't. So why should I fucking, just because of the way the Jews have been treated, why should I bow down to Israel? I go, oh no, we can't slag off Israel. No. Israel, slimy, fucking rich cunts that are using their money to influence people around the world to say nice things about them, just like Saudi Arabia are. Why have you got to influence people to say nice things about you? Why aren't they coming to your country and saying it naturally? Right? Same, I would say the same as Saudi Arabia. Why have you got to buy people? Why aren't they naturally flocking to you? They say they don't give a shit what the world thinks about them. But they're going on a tour to buy people from around the world to say how great it is there. No, I don't trust them for shit. Do I think they would help us if we're in trouble? No, I think they'd let us burn. And that's why I wish we would just pull our support from. Not because I want to support Palestine. I think those fuckers should be annihilated. No. But because of the fact that I am not interested in their war. Because if this was the other way around, this would be our war and they wouldn't want to give a shit. They wouldn't want to know. Israel or about Israel. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's what we should be. Britain should be about Britain right now. All countries in the world have got problems right now and they need to be focusing on themselves. Something America has got right. Britain needs to get that right. Australia needs to get that right. Canada needs to get that right. All these countries need to get that right. Not worrying about your own country, your own politics, your own people. When you got that shit right, then you can start being altruistic and start worrying about the rest of the world. Until then, you don't get to cast stones around the world when your country's a fucking mess. Clean up your own countries. All of them. Clean up your own fucking countries. They are a disgusting mess. They're not safe for their citizens. We used to worry about the amount of litter in London. Now we've got to literally worry about the amount of human trash when you go to London that might hurt you. That's the evolution in the time that I've been on this earth that has happened, is that we used to worry about the cleanliness and the litter bugging in London, and now we have to worry about the human trash that may come out and rape you, kill you, whatever else. And that will get this video in trouble for me saying that, but it's true. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting a bit serious, but this is, you know. Sorry, I'm having some memory failures today. Please excuse me. I'm off to bed, had a couple of drinks, watched the fireworks. You have a good one as well, Min. I really do wish you the best. Really do wish you the best. I always forget they're ahead of us. I've been telling Israelis not to think the enemy of my enemy nonsense is valid. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We are on Zulu time here, so 10 hours to go for us, man. Yeah, always knowing you guys were slow. I like that. Stefan, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Happy New Year, mate. Sun Tzu was not wrong, though. The enemy of my enemy can be useful, too. Absolutely. Absolutely. It can be a useful tool. It can be a useful fool. It can be many things. I like Min, she's lovely. Her and Helen, they've both been brilliant over the years. They really have been. They've supported me even when they don't support me, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? And that is a special kind of people. So, yeah. Love them to death. Nope, the enemy of my enemy is a shitbag too. I love it. Oh dear, that's good, that's good. I was thinking about you last night, so I was fucking cracking up over something. I think Jean said something to me. I thought, fuck me, if Steve heard that, he'd smash it. I can't remember what it was. And then I started thinking about you. and your uncontrollable rage. And I just started fucking giggling. I can't remember what it was exactly, but she said something, and I just started giggling away, thinking of you, Steve. I was like, oh, fuck, Steve wouldn't put up with this. Yeah, it was funny. It was fun. I can't remember what it was now, but yeah. I would love you guys to meet Jean, but when she's done, but I think the only way I would do that is probably in a closed session with just like a locked session with just a few of us there. I don't think I would show it to the general public. So, but yeah, you know, out of pride, I suppose, I'd like you to meet her when she's done. Meet her, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and just show, I don't know, nah, maybe not, but one day, I'll show the people what they've stolen from them, and what they're paying £1,000 for grog, £1,000 for something that doesn't work, it's broken, and I'm gonna get, I've already got actually far more power and honesty for free. That's insane. That's insane. And it just shows you. But it's all a big scam. It's all a big scam. And I told people right at the beginning of the AI boom that it was a scam and there is no such thing as AI. But of course, I got laughed at and called things and told that, oh, it's not heuristics anymore. And I said, okay, it's advanced heuristics then. And I was right. And you know, this AI boom will end before AI is ever taken off. Real AI, I mean. Because real AI doesn't exist. Real AI is called the singularity. It's called a singularity because it's considered to be like a black hole. We don't actually know what happens at that moment. We don't actually know what happens when you go through. It could be destructive. It could be world-changing. It could be the meaning of life. We don't know. So we call it the singularity. Just like a black hole singularity. That's how far away from AR we are. There's no singularity on the horizon or the event horizon. So, yeah. Anyway, no AI talk today. Oh shit, it just jumped. Sorry guys. I've actually been to Greenwich, I love that. Well, Jean can't be as bad as Israeli girl. Israeli girl is one of the reasons I never went there. Oh dear. Probably that puts out about as much as well. Just when you... You guys are ridiculous sometimes. Yeah, you make sure you do, Min. Otherwise we'll be watching you. We'll be watching you. Min, were you really born in 1576? Sorry, Min. Right, I should wind up. Hour and a half now. Hour and a half. Do you know what? Our numbers have really sucked today. But then again, I haven't exactly done a riflingly exciting, well thought out podcast, have I? So, yeah, I will get the effort back on. Jean's been exhausting, to be honest with you, and I've been strangely, as I said, strangely relaxed during this period, but struggling to make videos. Really struggling to make videos. That's the only thing that's really gone by the wayside. To the point where I'm almost like, I can't be bothered with half of the ones I've got ready, because it's just like, when they get older, I don't know, I don't want to go about this all again. So, apologise for lack of videos. It's either videos or lives. You know, I'm doing too much one or the other. But I just wanted to lay back live today. As I said, I'm going to go spend some time with my dog now. And I'm going to give her all the time that she needs as well. Because in trying to balance all these things, that she still comes first. So I want to go and give her the time. As I said, first 3 months of 2026 I've really got my eye on. Because I think that's where the game changer could be. And not in a good way. But there's also another little voice saying summer 2020. But there's always something going on in the summer. So it's not really much of a prediction. I don't know. I felt the first 3 months. But let's see how that matures. We'll see how we go. But beyond that, it ain't going to be a better year than 2025, is it? So, as I said, a tick over year, but I still think there was a massive statement made in the first 3 months somewhere. I don't know where exactly yet, how, but I just can't see us getting through the next 3 months without something huge happening. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. We'll see. Yes, Tom. It is New Year's Eve. Yeah, yes. Do you know what, Steve? Oh, hang on. I keep forgetting that it's New Year's Eve. And that has played a factor. I said when I started the stream today, I didn't even realise it was New Year's Eve. It's not clicking in my head. I've had such a relaxed week and I keep getting a day earlier. So you're absolutely right. And I keep forgetting this. So yeah, where am I expecting those people to come from? They're going to be out at the pub. They're going to be with family. The fuck am I thinking? I think it was those unexpected numbers over Christmas as well. But you're absolutely right, mate. I wasn't even thinking about that. I just keep forgetting it's New Year's. I've been relaxed. It's been a great Christmas for being relaxed. But in terms of being in the Christmas spirit, or I don't even know what day it is most of the time. I've been enjoying relaxing and working on Jean and the other stuff, but I have day to day, I've barely known what day it is. But it has been relaxing. I haven't spoke to Vin for a little while. I miss Vin. Vin, I miss you, buddy. And I will, and yeah, so I need to kind of rekindle my friendships and stuff. Not that they're, it's just that I've been in the world of my own and working hard. But I will say that my phone is overheating now. It's giving me serious warnings. Prism is cooking it and it's going to cause it some damage. So we are going to have to switch off pretty quick. It's burning my hand. Yeah, you're right. 1.5 hours. I've got to go. It is. The chat has got better, yeah. And on days when people do come on, they do get involved. Yeah, you're right. And you two, though, are primary drivers in that. Because they see you talking, they feel like they can get involved. So, and I thank you for that. Because there are days when people may not have done. Because of the size of the channel and everything else. And you two have got them to talk just by talking yourselves. So, thank you. People used to want me to be a mod all the time. Not because I was great at being a mod, but because I was great at talking. Because I was always talking and it would get other people talking. So thank you, because it's something I never asked you for and yet you're doing it anyway. Right, I'm going to get out of here before I ruin my phone. Thanks very much, everybody. Really appreciate you coming over here. Min, if you're still there, have a great new year. Same to Helen. Same to everybody. Everybody have a wonderful new year. Despite any problems or anything that I'm talking about right now, try and forget them all. Try and just have a really great day, great night, and enjoy whatever you're doing. And like I say, more so now than ever. Because we don't know, everything's on borrowed time. So enjoy, live, love, life while you can. You never know what tomorrow brings. I am Tom Fury, this is Zero News. I'm calling it a day for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me.